you saw The Invite.
Yes, I did.
This is Seth Rogen in this. I mean, a lot of people have been a little turned off by this movie because of Seth Rogen. And it's about an invitation to.
It's just a little dinner party.
Sure, it is. What's it about? You saw this. I did not.
Yeah, so The Invite is the story of Joe and Angela, played by Seth Rogen and Olivia Wilde. And, you know, they're in this kind of marriage that has, you know, they're in a rut. They've been married a long time. And Joe is a failed musician, failed band member. He teaches music. He hates his job. He has a bad back. Angela is a sort of, she had a career, but kind of gave it up for her husband. And so she just kind of lives in the house and decorates it really nice. And let's just say they're getting bored with their marriage. And one night, a couple days beforehand, they hear their neighbors, Pena and Hawk, played by Penelope Cruz and Edward Norton. And they're having sex. They're having like really loud, really, you know, you could hear it through the walls and it keeps them awake. So what happens is this one evening when Joe comes home, Angela tells him, hey, by the way, don't forget we invited the neighbors to come for dinner. And he goes, I don't remember that. And he goes, well, I told you. Did you bring the wine? No, I didn't know about it. And so it gets to this whole argument, and Joe really wants to cancel this dinner party, but he can't. And they show up. And basically what happens is it's a dinner party with a lot of discussion, a lot of conversation. And let's just say, as Chris was alluding to, Pena and Hawk, they like experimenting. She's a sexologist, and you know, so they've done on occasion threesomes and foursomes. In fact, they came to apologize for the noise they've been making, but the moaning wasn't them; it was the people they invited. So they had to do threesomes and foursomes and the occasional orgy. And then there's The Invite, which is what this movie is about. And I really like this movie. You know, you can get turned off by the premise. But what the premise does is it's really about Joe and Angela. Joe and Angela. And this marriage that they've fallen into the rut with. Because the reality is if you've been married for a long time, Chris, you're going to experience this in 10 years. But, you know, you do fall in these ruts where, you know, you're just kind of living together in the same space and you need something to spice things up. And in this case, it takes this extreme catalyst, which is the foursome, to really spice things up. And as you can imagine, I don't know if you've seen movies like this, you know, as sexy as that sounds, you know, things don't exactly happen the way they plan it to. And it just becomes this, you know, this moment where the four of them have to confront the issues of their marriage and whether this marriage is worth going on with. And that's, to me, I am always drawn to movies about being human. About the struggles that we have living life and having relationships, being in friendships, having a job. Those are the ones we relate to because we live it day to day. And that this is one of those movies that uses an extreme moment to really illumine, you know, what happens to every couple for the most part. And that's falling into these ruts in life. And I think it handles it very well. You know, again, an extreme catalyst here. But well written, well acted, really insightful. The pacing and the tone of this is relentless. It's nonstop, which is good because you just really get that sense of boredom and desperation that they have with each other. Sadly, Seth Rogen has a public life that kind of takes a public opinion about things, but deep down, he's a good actor. He plays the everyman very well. And Olivia Wilde, same thing. Somehow they managed to put on two good, authentic performances. And so I definitely recommend.
So you recommend it. The thing that kind of gets me is it looks like a filmed play. Like it takes place in one location.
You know, yeah, it does. It you could definitely say it was a play. It does take place in one location. But it's the pacing of it, because in a play, you tend to be more authentic by having pauses, and you let acts play out. But this one, it just kind of it builds up to the point where obviously they have to clash, and by keeping that pace going and going, the clash, when it happens, really explodes. And I think that's why this works better as a film than it does as a play.
So you recommend it?
Recommendation, yes.